Namaskar. Welcome to the event number 6, Financial Prospects, under the chapter number 3, Study with Example Charts. Before proceeding with the study on the example charts, in this video, let us have a detailed discussion on the important points and rules in respective to the financial prospects. Financial prospects, rules and important points. Finance. The primary house for the finance is second house. Let us have a in general discussion. In general, lot of 2, the house of second house, posted in the first house, or lot of 1, that is Lagna Lord, posted in the second house is good for Lagna's finance if it is also connected to the 11th house. In general, any house, a 12th house from any house, it is not going to be favorable to that particular house, or it is going to give loss to that particular house. For example, second house is the house of finance. 12th house to the second house is first house, that is indicating Lagna. Though it is indicating unfavorable to the 12th house, second house, the 12th house, but Lagna is not unfavorable to the Lagna. Lagna is good to the Lagna, right? So that way, whenever Lagna is connected, it is indicating the role of the native and role of the Lagna. It is not going to be unfavorable provided if it is connected to the 8th house or 12th house grouping, right? Only when it is Lagna connected to the 8th house or 12th house, then only it will be unfavorable. Otherwise, it is going to be supportive only. Instead of these unfavorable houses to the Lagna, if it is favorable houses to the Lagna, 11th house and other favorable houses to the Lagna are present, it is going to be favorable only, that you are aware of it. That is what I am saying here. Lord of 2, second house in Lagna, or Lagna Lord in the second house, it is 1 and 2 combination, is good for Lagna's finance if it is also connected to the 11th house. If 4th house or 6th house and 10th house are also connected, it further enhances the gain and with the status. Because second house, 4th house, 6th house, and 10th house, and 11th house, if they are all present, 2, 4, 6, 10, 11 houses are present, it is indicating, it is enhancing the financial position and gain and also status. And Lord of 2 in 8th house or 9th house or 12th house, it indicates some weakness in financial aspects, because 8th house is 7th, for the 7th house, it is second house. 8th house is trouble giving houses to the Lagna. And 9th house is 8th house to the second house. So it is indicating obstacle causing houses to the second house matters. This is obstacle causing houses to the Lagna. This is obstacle causing houses to the second house. And 12th house is, in general, it is loss causing houses or unfavorable houses. I mean, in general, 12th house is not good. But when combining with these houses, that all those is going to become more unfavorable to the second house matters. So, lot of 2 in 8 or 9 or 12, it indicates some weakness in financial aspect. That 12th house can be loss also, it can be investment also, depending on the other house grouping, we can take it what 12th house exactly it is meaning here. So, second house in the favorable houses to the Lagna, it is favorable. It is present in the unfavorable houses to the Lagna, especially 8th and 12th house, and unfavorable obstacle causing house to the second house, that is 9th house, then it is indicating some weakness in the financial prospects, right? But note, though I said 6th house is favorable to the second house matters, but 6th house will give unfavorable results when it is combined with the 8th house and 12th house, right? Because 6th house is talking about last to 7th house, or payment or gain from others because somebody is losing money. So sixth house is also supportive for job prospects, and also it is indicating somebody is losing and the native is gaining. But getting the money from others by way of earning also sixth house, or it can be through a loan also, right? So sixth house, whether it is going to be further supported by 11th house to the lagna, not trouble giving houses to the lagna. It means sixth house, if it is connected to the eighth house, third house to the sixth house is eighth house, and in addition to that, 12th was also joining. It is indicating unfavorable significations to the second house. If the second house is connecting to the 6, 8, 12, financial, the native is going to face loan, increase in loan and struggle. And 6, 8, 12 grouping to the Lagna is not good. And second house, through the second house, Lagna is going to face problem. So it means whether the game changer is favorable houses to the Lagna or unfavorable houses to the Lagna, which are influencing which are supporting to the sixth house. Based on that only, six may be favorable or unfavorable. So it is going to act as a dual, because sixth house will give unfavorable results when it is combined with the eighth house and 12th houses. By the extended significations, we can find the complete strength and weakness, whether this is going to be favorable or not, or it is going to be supportive, or it is going to give us a lot of struggle to the Lagna. So that based on the extended significations, we can find the complete strength and weakness. These points are all general study. Second house, based on its position, and the combination of other favorable or unfavorable in general study we have that studied here. Now let us go in detail about the other points. Now we are going to talk about the good or favorable financial position. How to check that native is favorably having that financial position, or his financial position is not in a good shape. How to check it? The primary house, we know that second house. So to know the destiny prospects on the financial position, we have to check the second house. So that in general, we know that we are going to talk about the financial destiny by the second cuspal sublord. But though we are going to importantly has to give the importance to the second cuspal sublord, we have to check the second cuspal lord also. As we said, for any house, the primary cuspal lord is the source, and primary cuspal sublord of the primary house is the deciding factor. So both are important. CST also important, but that is going to act as the bridge. So CL is the source and CSL is the result, that we have to give important. So if the second cuspal lord, importantly, second cuspal sublord are signifying the following points, based on that, then we can say that that native destiny is having favorable financial position. If the second cuspal lord and importantly second cuspal sublord are signifying what? 2, 4, 6, 10, 11 grouping, it favors for a very good financial prospects with assets, because fourth house is talking about the property and assets also. So 2, 4, 6. Third house to the second house is fourth house. Third house to the fourth house is sixth house. That way it is increasing that financial position along with that good status and also gain. Depending on the role of the unfavorable grouping houses, 5, 8, 9, 12 houses, the level of financial prosperity will be present. Suppose along with the 2, 4, 6, 10, 11, unfavorable other grouping also present. Depending on the unfavorable grouping, the percentage of the financial prospects, what we are talking as a favorable, that will be present. Okay, so favorable along with the unfavorable, depending on the grouping, that favorable strength is going to be more or less. That we have to keep it in mind. But in general, this grouping is signified by the primary cuspal sublord planet or cuspal lord planet of the second house from the star level and sub level. When you're studying the grouping, if you find this grouping, it is going to be very good. Please understand, like I was telling about the sixth house in the above para, If it is connected to the 8th house and 12th house, it is going to give trouble, right? Similarly, the 5th house also, we cannot take it as a completely unfavorable. If it is suppose 2, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, the 5th house is connecting to these favorable houses to the Lagna, because 5th house, as far as the finance is concerned, 5th house is also talking about luxury, right? This is also luxury. It is Purva Punya Sthan. When the 5th house is connecting, because favorable to the Lagna, right? So when 5th house also joining hands with these favorable houses to the finance, 2, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, if they are present, they can favor for a luxury life also. So that also we have to keep it in mind. So in other words, we can say that unless and otherwise, the role of the 8th house and 12th house, only these 5th house or 9th house or 6th house are not going to be completely unfavorable. Similarly, favorable houses 2, 4, 10, 11, if they are all present, then only it is going to be more unfavorable. So grouping is important. Okay. So now let us go to the next point. 2, 4, 6, 10, 11, I was telling. Now, along with this 2, 4, 6, 10, 11, if first house, that's Lagna also joining hand, is added, it favors for financial gain with the personal effort of the native and name, right? With the name, we can say. If the first house, along with that, first house also joining hands. Lagna, when it is connected to these favorable houses to the financial position, it is supportive for financial gain with the personal effort and also name. So he'll have a good name. And if 10th house also is added, then it favors for status and position. Suppose 2 and 4, 6 only present. If Lagna is connected, so it is going to add some more strength, because it is role of Lagna also adding hands, joining hands. And 10 is also present, is going to be more favorable along with the 11th house. So this group keeping is going to be more favorable. That's what I'm trying to say here. If 10th house is also joining hand, it favors for status and position. The combination of the 1, 5, 9, 2, 6, 10, and 3, 7, 11 trigon houses. We know that, there are 4 trigons. 4, 8, 12 is the Moksha trigon. So in that 4, 8, 12, fourth house is going to be favorable, because it is talking about comfort, it is talking about property, it is increasing the intensity of the second house, because third house to the second house. So 8 and 12 houses only, it is indicating unfavorable houses, and other houses are favorable houses to the Lagna. In that, all these trigons are houses without the role of 8 and 12 houses do support for good financial prospects with luxury life. Please understand, people used to say that 5th house and 9th house are not good to the financial prospects, though it is 8th house and 12th house to the, for example, 159, if you take it, 2, 6, 10. For the 2, 6, 10, that is the Karma Trikan, 12th house to this 2, 6, 10 is 159. It is indicating that it is not good for the second house matters. No, it is not exactly so. 159 is, without any hard effort, Lagna is indicating some, because Lagna, this one is Puropanya, this is 9th house is Bhagya. 159 trigons are good to the Lagna. It can become unfavorable to the financial prospects or the professional prospects if they are connected to the 8th house and 12th house. Otherwise, this 159 grouping, if they are all connected to the favorable houses to the Lagna, and as I said, 3, 7, 11 grouping, that is this Trikon. It is Kama Trikon, if it is connecting to these houses, it is going to be favorable. It is talking about the professional prospects also, it is supportive, and the personal life also it is supportive. It is supportive for everything. 3, 7, 11. So 159 houses, if they are connected to these houses, all these trigons are indicated by a planet in its rulers, in the planet level, star level, sub level, all are present. They are supportive for the good financial prospects with the luxury life. Why luxury life? He has got good bhagya. It is got pura punya to enjoy good status and financial position and happy life. So grouping is important. So just like that, if you're looking at the fifth house and ninth house, we cannot take it is completely unfavorable. It is not supportive for a progress on the money or on the financial position, but it can become favorable when it is connecting to the other favorable houses to the finance. 1, 3, 5, 11 houses do favor for the natives expenditures for personal happiness. If Venus also connected luxury expenditures, because 1, 3, 5, 11 houses are favorable for natives expenditures. Of course, 12 those may be there directly, 1, 3, 5, 11, 12 maybe there, or 12 those may be in supports. Lagna's efforts. Lagna is more inclined towards personal happiness and satisfaction. It is indicated by 1, 3, 5, 11. Other than that, 11th, 7th house is connected, 9th house also connected. It is going to add more such significations. But 12th house may or may not be there directly playing for the indicating expenditures. So 1, 3, 5, 11 grouping are present, though it is not connecting to the other favorable houses, but this grouping is supportive for Lagna's expenditure for personal happiness. Along with that, suppose, second house connected to the Lagna 1, 3, and 5. This fifth house is 11th house to the 7th house, right? If it is connected to the 7 and 5 also, it is supportive for the happiness for others also. It means his money, finance will be utilized for others' happiness. He will help others. You understand? 1, 3, 5, 7, and 12 also joining hands. He will help others by losing money or he spending money on others. He'll helping others. So that way also we can interpret. If Venus is also connected, luxury expenditures, because Venus is Karaka for luxury and also that beauty and all these things, right? So if the next point, if fifth house and eighth house and ninth house, with the 1, 3, 7, 11 houses, do support for gain both the native and others. It means 1, 3, 5, 8 is talking about fifth house is 11th house to the 7th house. Eighth house is second house to the seventh house. This is 11th house to the seventh house, and second house to the seventh house is eighth house. These 2 and 11 houses to the opposite party are others. Or eighth house is second house to the seventh house, and this is third house to the seventh house. To the seventh house, this third house. But eighth house and ninth house are obstacle causing houses to the Lagna and also finance. So in general, these houses are not very good on their own for the financial prospects, right? But with the 5, 8 along with that 1, 3, 7, 11 or 8, 9 along with that 1, 3, 7, 11, they are all favorable to others, and 1, 3, 7, 11, 11, 3, 11 houses are favorable to the Lagna. So when both are connected, do support for both native and others whom he is associated with, either partner or employer or client. So in other words, second house is connected to the 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 11 houses. Suppose if it is signifying like this will be supportive for both Lagna, also it is supportive for both Lagna and other people. They will also get benefited, and Lagna will get benefited. So it means that that benefit will be shared, we can say, because it is supportive for the 11th house to the 7th house also, 11th house to the Lagna also, and 8th house it is second house to the 7th house also, and 7th house also connected, Lagna also connected. It is favorable to the Lagna. So they are all supportive for Lagna's activity, supportive for both the native and also others. It is good for the partnership, or it can say that money will be spent for others for their benefit, and also Lagna also will get satisfaction, right? If Sun and Venus are involved, here I forgot to say one thing. Suppose along with this grouping, if 12th house also joining in, there comes the problem. If 12 also joining hand, that Lagna's benefit is lesser than the opposite person's benefit. Otherwise, others will take upper hand. Others will get the more benefit than the Lagna. Lagna will lose and others will gain more. I think you're able to understand. Only grouping is important. If Sun and Venus are involved in the favorable side, it favors for more favorable and financial position with name, status, and luxury. Because Sun planet is the one which is for the Karaga planet for the position, name, and status. And of course, Jupiter also we can take it in that. But Sun is important, and Venus planet is supportive for the luxury. Then, if Rahu also connected to that, then it is going to give, more such favorable signification on the luxury life, or in the present that situation wherein that present life is more of not on the natural, all artificial, we can say, or I can say that new generations, new things are coming in. So a lot of people are more fascinated things and new developments. All these things, that role is ruled by the Rahu. So Rahu connected to that, and Venus also connected. Then that is going to give more such a financial position and with luxury things, luxury expenditures. Suppose if Rahu same way, Venus also same way connected to the unfavorable houses, they are going to give the unfavorable things also on the particular point of view. I think we're able to understand. So Graha Garagatva, Sun and Venus are involved. It favors for more favorable and financial position with the name, status, and luxury life. I think we're able to understand this point. Now I have been talking about the second cuspal lord and second cuspal sublord. What they are giving, they are going to give on the destiny prospects on the financial position. Especially, we are talking about the more on the positive angle, favorable financial position. Apart from the second cuspal lord, suppose if Lagna cuspal lord and cuspal sublord are also signifying the above, it further promises the notable financial position with name. It means not only the second lord or second cuspal sublord, if first cuspal lord and first cuspal sublord also they are signifying such favorable significations on the financial position, it is going to further increase the status. It means Lagna is destined to have such financial position, and second house financial position itself is supportive for such financial good prospects. So it will further add. Understand? So that way, if second house and also Lagna both are having such significations, it is going to be more favorable. I think you're able to understand. Now let us check the next one. Weak or loss or unfavorable financial positions. If the second cuspal lord, importantly, second cuspal sublord are signifying ninth house. Ninth house is what? It is eighth house to the second house. Obstacle causing houses to the financial flow, money. And 12th house is 6th to the 7th house and 12th to the Lagna. So it is favoring to the opposite party, and it is indicating some obstacles and loss to the Lagna. In general, second house is connecting to the ninth house and 12th house. It is not good for the financial position of to the Lagna, because it is indicating obstacles to the fund flow, and it is indicating it can be a loss also. Because 9 and 12 are unfavorable to the second house matters. They are weak for the stable financial prospects. Stability is not indicated. Along with that, 8th house also joining hands, it is going to be more unfavorable financial position. Similarly, like ninth house, fifth house. Fifth house is 11th house to the seventh house. It is gain house to the giving house to the opposite party or others. Is gain to others, but this can be supportive to the Lagna. If it is along with the 11th house, it will favor for both the native and also others, and can also support for luxury life because 5 and 11 houses that already discussed. But with the 8th house and 12th houses, it will cause loss to the native and also gain to the others. So that is what the who is going to connect to the fifth house, either 11 or favorable houses to the finance or unfavorable houses to the finance or to the lagna, 8th house and 12th house. Depending on that, will the output is going to be there. Similarly, 8th house, though 8th house is obstacle causing houses to the lagna, it is also second house to the seventh house. For the this is talking about others' money. Second house is ours, that natives' money, and eighth house is others' money because second house to the seventh house and trouble giver to the lagna. If the ninth house, sorry, eighth house may indicate blockage of fund with others. It means somebody's money is getting stuck in the opposite with the opposite party, right? Because it is his money is stuck others with others. Eighth house to the lagna is second house to the seventh house. It can indicate that blockage of fund flow is getting stuck with others if it is combined with the 5, 9, and 12 houses, right? Eighth house is, if it is connected to the fifth house or ninth house or 12th house, it is talking about fund is getting blocked. It can cause difficulty in getting the money back, debts and troubles on account of it. It means along with that 8th house, 5th house, 9th house, 12th house are all joining hands. It indicates difficulty in getting back the money, and it can cause debts and troubles on account of that financial problem. But instead, if 8th house is connected, combined with the 11th house, and other favorable houses, suppose second house and other fourth house, sixth house are all joining hands along with that 11, that eighth house is connected to that, it can favor for sudden gain, sudden or unexpected gain. 8 means unexpected. If it is connected to the 11th house, unexpected gain or profit. If second house is connecting to this, so it is supportive for unexpected gain also. The native can get some sort of unexpected sudden gain, that also. So who is going to decide whether that unfavorable house 8th house is further supported by the favorable houses or unfavorable other houses? I think you're able to understand. Similarly, 12th house. You see, 5th house, 8th house, 9th house, 12th house, in general, individually, they are not favorable to the second house. But individually, if they are present, they are not going to be unfavorable. That's what I was telling in each, for each house, I am telling the explanation. 12th house is indicating either loss or investment to Lagna. If it is combined with the 11th house, it supports for gain from investments because 12 is investment, right? Some expenditure. Then 11th house means through that investment or expenditure, Lagna gets a satisfaction or profit. We can say that, right? Instead of that, if it is combined with the fifth house, eighth house, ninth house grouping, it indicates loss. So, fifth house, eighth house, ninth house, grouping of these houses, either 5, 8, 12, or 5, 8, 9, and 8, 9, 12. So, if the grouping of these houses are present, then only it is going to be unfavorable. Instead of that 8 and 12, if instead of that 8th house or 12th house ruling, but favorable grouping of 11th house also importantly present, then it is going to be favorable only. I think you're able to understand. So 12th house is either it is going to be favorable by way of investments leading to gain, or it is going to give a trouble to the lagna by way of loss depending on the grouping of the other unfavorable houses. I think we're able to understand, right? So second house is connecting to the 12th house along with that favorable houses. It indicates what? That natives, I mean, financial position is going to get reduced by way of 12th house by investment along with that favorable houses. It can be considered as investment or expenditure for the purpose of benefits or gain, right? So some important other point, let me explain here. Grouping of 8, 12 houses along with that 5 or 7 or 9 houses do indicate financial crisis, the troubles or losses. That's what I was telling. So grouping of 8 house and 12 house along with that 5 or 7 or 9 houses indicate financial troubles or losses. Grouping of 6, 8, 12 houses do support for financial troubles due to more loans, increase in loans, because 6 we can say it is loan. Eighth house is talking about third house to the sixth house, increasing the loan and it leading to trouble to the lagna and loss to the lagna. So 6, 8, 12 grouping, it is not good in general for the lagna on the financial problem, financial aspects. It can lead to financial troubles due to more loans. If first house also connected, so 1, 6, 8, 12 grouping, if it is connected, more stress and disrespect, and we can say the temper to the image. So it means lagna is connected to 6, 8, 12 is not good to the lagna status and position and disrespect, and this is not good to the lagna. So lagna, if second house is connecting to these houses, lagna will face financial hurdles and struggles, and it will a lot of stress and struggle to the lagna. I think you are able to understand. Next points. 5, 7, 8, 9 or 7, 8, 9 houses. If the second house is signifying these houses, Lagna will face obstacles in finance because these houses are favorable to the opposite party and not to the Lagna's financial position, right? So if without the role of the 12th house, if these grouping of houses are that second house is indicating, a planet is signifying these houses, it will cause obstacles in finance, unstable income, gain to others, right? These houses are favorable to the others. But if 12th house also is joining hands, connected, even in supports, it indicates loss. Because a planet can signify 5th house, 7th house, 8th house, or 9th house grouping, or 5, 8, 9, or 7, 8, 9. Okay. But 12th house may, if it is present directly as a 12th house also joining hands, it is going to be more unfavorable without the favorable grouping. But if these grouping houses are not having the 12th house in their significations, but the 12th house significator is there in supports to these significators, then also it will support for loss to the lagna on the financial prospects. So this grouping we have to keep it in mind. And 1, 5, 7, 8, 12 houses. Please understand what are the houses I'm talking about only based on logic only. So you need not keep it in mind that only these such grouping only is important. Not so 9 I have not given. So does not mean that 9 is not required or 9 it is playing role. It is not going to make any sense. No, it is talking about lagna or the lagna. Seventh house is opposite party. Fifth house is for the benefit to the seventh house. Eighth house is to the benefit to the opposite person because second house to the seventh house and the trouble giving houses to the lagna, and 12th house is last giving houses to the lagna. So if these houses are connected, lagna will be cheated or others will take advantage from the native because these 7 is benefited, is money and loss to the lagna. So lagna is going to face this, means others will take advantage. I mean, from the lagna. So lagna will be cheated. Along with that, sixth house also joining in, it is going to be further more increasing. So others will take advantage from the native. Finally, the native will lose money and get liability and debts if with the 6, 8, 12 grouping. That's what I was telling that. If 6, 8, 12 grouping are also joining hands with that, it will lead to last to the Lagna, and others will take advantage. Why others I'm talking about? Because 7 is playing role and fifth house is playing role. 7 is going to take advantage, and 7, 5, 8, 12 grouping is favorable to the seventh house and it is unfavorable to the Lagna, and 7 will take upper hand, leading to the 6, 8, 12 grouping, trouble giving houses to the Lagna, and it will be causing liability in debts. If Mercury is signifying these unfavorable houses, because Mercury is in general a natural zodiac that Virgo sign is ruled by that Mercury. So that sixth sign, no, sixth sign is Virgo. That Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Mercury planet is the Karaka planet for business also. It is Karaka planet for loans also, because Mercury is the planet, is important planet for the money and loans. When the Mercury itself is signifying this unfavorable grouping, it further adds more unfavorable impact on the financial position. If supports for loan, it supports for loans and debts also, if it is connected to the unfavorable houses. Who is signifying what? That also matters. The Karaka planet for the business, Karaka planet for the loans is connecting to these unfavorable grouping to the Lagna. This is 5th house, 6th house, 8 and 12 grouping are signified by the Mercury. Then it supports for the Lagna to face such problem because of this money. That is the reason whenever we study a birth chart, especially for the finance, and also finance also connecting to the profession only, because my money is going to be more from the profession. If suppose the native is running, native is doing business. So whenever Mercury is acting as the period, or Mercury is connected to the second house matters, and that Mercury itself is ruling as the Dasa or Bugdi, then we need to be very careful, because Mercury is the Karaga planet for not only for business but also for the sixth house, loans and debts. So if 6 is connected to the 8th and 12 houses, then it is going to cause more trouble. Otherwise, it is not a problem. That we have to keep it in mind. So Mercury, if it is also playing role, then we need to be careful. That's what I'm trying to say here. I think you are able to understand. Now let us go to the next slide. Now we are going to talk about the source of gain or loss. In the previous slides, I was telling about the favorable combination for the good financial destiny, and unfavorable combinations for the unfavorable destiny prospects on the finance, and also it is how far they differ with along with the grouping of other favorable and unfavorable houses we discussed. Now I'm going to talk about some important points on the source of gain or loss. For what way a person's finance is going to be increased. Financial position is going to be increased by what means? Or similarly, by what means the native can face troubles in the finance or loss? All these things we are going to discuss in general. Suppose you can see here, if first cuspal lord or cuspal sublord, importantly, you see, we have to check the cuspal sublord the most importantly, but does not mean that cuspal lord is not important. We have to wait. It is better to check both. If the first cuspal sublord and cuspal lord, the source planet of the cuspal lord of the first house, Lagna lord or Lagna sublord, is signifying the favorable 2, 4, 6, 10, 11 or unfavorable 5, 8, 9, 12 grouping, indicates gain or loss on account of the native's own effort or activities. What I'm saying that native is on his own, whether he is going to gain, or on his own activities, that Lagna is going to face financial struggles or loss. If the Lagna, through the Lagna, what the native is going to experience. Through the Lagna sublord, Lagna sublord or Lagna lord is signifying favorable houses to the finance or unfavorable houses to the finance. If they are signifying, it indicates Gain, if favorable or present, it is indicating gain. Unfavorable or present, it is indicating loss on account of the own effort or, activities respectively. We can say respectively. Respectively means if these houses are signified, it is going to give gain. These houses are strongly signified, it is going to give loss. If both are signifying, depending on their grouping strength, that the native is going to experience both favorable and unfavorable. So, through what source? Lagna itself. Suppose, now let us go to the third house. Third house or fifth cuspal lord. So we can say third or fifth cuspal lord or cuspal sublord are signifying these favorable. 2, 4, 6, 10, 11. So we can say favorable means this, unfavorable means this. Grouping only. If the third cuspal sublord or fifth cuspal sublord are signifying these houses indicates gain or loss on account of gambling or shares, etc. Because third house and fifth house are talking about the gambling and shares activities also. And respectively in the sense, favorable means it is going to be gain, unfavorable grouping, it is going to indicating that it is indicating loss. So as I said, if it both are present, then automatically it indicates that through the third house and fifth house, that native is going to make get mixed significations, right? So the point is that which cuspal lord or cuspal sublord is signifying these houses, through that source that native will gain. If the fourth cuspal lord or cuspal sublord is signifying favorable or unfavorable grouping, it indicates gain or loss on account of the properties or vehicle or mother. Because through the fourth house significations, the lagna will face gain or loss also. If the fifth cuspal lord or fifth cuspal sublord is signifying favorable or unfavorable grouping, already discussed third or fifth. Right here, similarly, fifth cuspal lord or sublord signifying favorable or unfavorable grouping indicates gain or loss on account of children, right? So it means through the fifth house matters, the lagna will face gain or loss. It can be children or it can be gambling or shares, that also we can take it, right? And if the seventh cuspal lord or seventh cuspal sublord is signifying the favorable or unfavorable grouping, it indicates gain or loss on account of business or partner or cheated by others, respectively. It means what? If the fifth cuspal sublord is connecting to the unfavorable houses to the finance, this 5, 8, 9, 12 grouping, if it is present, it indicates that native will face such problem or loss on account of the others. The others will cheat, right? That we have to keep it in mind. Similarly, if sixth cuspal sublord I have not given, if sixth cuspal sublord or sixth cuspal lord is signifying these favorable houses, sixth house means if you take as a job, or if you take as the sixth house is loan, right? Through the sixth house, 8 and 12 are connected. It is indicating that the native will face this grouping is going to going to cause trouble or more loans on account of the lagna will face obstacles. Instead of that, favorable grouping are present through the job, that native will face lot of gain, right? That also we can take it. If ninth cuspal lord or cuspal sublord is signifying the favorable or unfavorable grouping, it indicates gain or loss on account of father or parental business, if along with the sixth house. Because ninth house is talking about the parental, and sixth house is 10th house to the ninth house. If ninth house and sixth house are connected, then it is indicating parental business. So through that, the native is going to gain or it is going to lose also, right? If the 10th cuspal lord or cuspal sublord is signifying the favorable or unfavorable grouping, it indicates gain or loss on account of business, respectively. Because 10th house is not only talking about the business, we can see on account of the profession, right? 10th cuspal lord or sublord is signifying favorable and unfavorable grouping. In the previous event also we are talking about the professional prospects. So 10th cuspal is talking about the profession. If it is signifying favorable or unfavorable grouping, through the 10th house, the native will face gain also. Through the 10th house, he will face struggles also. So then the 12th house. If the 12th cuspal lord or cuspal sublord is signifying favorable or unfavorable grouping, it indicates gain or loss on account of investments or expenditures or abroad related respectively. It means what I'm trying to say that which cuspal sublord, which Karagatva houses are signifying favorable houses to the finance, through that house matters, Lagna will gain. The source is which house sublords are, signifying this favorable. Through that house matters, Lagna will gain. Similarly, it is applicable for unfavorable also. I think you're able to understand. In other words, trouble leaving houses to the Lagna 8 and 12. Any house is signifying 8 and 12. Lagna sublord, second cuspal sublord, third cuspal sublord. Any which house is signifying trouble leaving houses to the Lagna. Through that house matters, Lagna will face obstacles. Similarly, which houses sublords are signifying favorable houses to the finance, to second house, fourth house, 6, 10, 11 grouping. Second house is important house for the for money, and fourth house also favorable to the money because third house to the second house. If 2, 4, 6 grouping are signified by first star, second or third or 4, 5, 6, which houses are signifying these houses? Through those house matters, Lagna will earn money, right? So that we have to keep it in mind. I mean, that's what I was saying that fourth cuspal lord is signifying properties through the property. Suppose fourth cuspal lord or sublord is signifying second house and sixth house. It means through the property that native will earn. It means earning in the sense by way of through the property, he can let own the property for rental, and through that he will earn money. He will buy the property and sell the property with the third house also connected. Through the property selling and resale, and we can do through the sales of the property also he will gain, like investing in property and selling the property, like real estate, we can say that through the fourth house the native can gain also. So that's what we have to see, which houses are signifying what houses. That is important. So through these houses are signified favorable to the financial prospect. It is favoring for the gain and earning, right? So the similarly on the unfavorable side. If many cuspal sublords are signifying through their star lord, what I'm saying here, all through the star lord and sublord, right? So here, the same point only, if I was telling about individual houses, sublords, if many cuspal sublords are signifying through their star lord, second house or 11th house, 4 or 11 or 6, 11 houses, it indicates native source of income will be through many multiple sources, right? If suppose Lagna also signifying this, favorable, third house also signifying this, fourth house also signifying this, 7 also, and 10 also, it is signifying these houses, favorable houses to the money. It indicates through the house matters, Lagna will gain multiple, through multiple sources, Lagna will gain money. You see, I have talked about star lord. It does not mean that only star lord. Star lord and star lord are the star lord. Then sublord, they are all going to be studied. But planet and star lord significance, source and effect are important. Then, according to the sublord strength, that how far that planet and star lord combined signification, it is favorable. If sublord also favorable, it is going to be very favorable. If sublord is not favorable, if it is signifying unfavorable or it is signifying loss causing houses, it indicates that native will gain through many through that source, but result is not going to be favorable, means finally it is not going to be very successful or satisfactory, or money will be lost. He will gain, then he may be lost. So based on the sublord, we know that total that destiny prospect is going to be. So So this way we have to see the source of gain and loss. I mean, for the native, how the native is getting the earning from what sources, and which sources can cause the native for the financial troubles also. I explained with in general I discussed, and also I was telling about the combination of the houses which are supportive for the good financial position, and also trouble living houses to the financial position. And you could have seen that grouping of houses favorable or unfavorable only going to decide, not with a single house. So in general, any planet you take, in general, not only the destiny, if you take any planet when you're studying from the source to the last level, if the grouping of the unfavorable 5, 8, 9, 12 grouping, important 5, 8, 9 only present at the planet star level sublord, if these unfavorable houses only present, I mean, without the 12 house, unfavorable houses are present at all levels, it indicates some unfavorable strength. It means that weakness is present. Along with that, favorable houses also present, it is indicating favorable strength also present. So, based on the grouping of the unfavorable houses, only the intensity of the unfavorable significations to the finance or any event it is present. So, the source planet. So if you take for any planet for the studying of the Dasa Bhukti period, the source planet is second lord or second cuspal sublord. It means that planet is talking about the money, right? The planet which is the ruler of the second house in the star and sub of trouble living houses of the second house, it is indicating weak destiny. It is going to give trouble to the second house matters, right? Similarly, the planet which are occupying the second house, the planet which are occupying the second house, they are going to influence the second house meters. The occupant of the second house is also indicating favorable houses to the second house meter. They are going to further more increase the intensity of the second house. Depending on the karakato of the planet, that is also going to further increase. Similarly, the occupant of the second house are indicating trouble living houses to the second house matters with the unfavorable grouping. They are going to cause obstacles to that financial position. I think you're able to understand. So in this video, we have studied about the important roles and important points to be kept in mind on the financial prospects destiny. In the upcoming videos, we are going to discuss on many example chart on the financial prospects. We'll meet in the next video. Good luck.